Okay, Duncan?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, action!
Did you accentuate the fall?
Yeah, I did. I had to.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
21. But I'm glad you didn't think of it.
Patty, don't you be alright? That'll be fine.
Looks easy enough.
You are. It's easy enough. I'm gonna get buggered up, don't worry.
Moon is a thoughtful, romantic sci-fi thriller starring Sam Rockwell and also co-starring Sam Rockwell.
It's about a guy who's been trapped on the moon for 3 years. He's working, so he's not really trapped, I guess, but he's starting to go a bit stir crazy, and he's stuck on there with a robot. That's it, and then something happens. Should we talk about that? Right? Talk about it? Yeah. Well, he gets in a crash on the surface of the moon in a rover, and he wakes up, and what you eventually find out is that they've awakened a new clone, and so the clone finds the other clone, and these two clones have to deal with each other on the surface of the moon.
Yeah. Do you want to stick a gun?
I knew that I wanted my first feature film to be with Sam Rockwell, and I approached him with another film a number of years back, I think beginning of 2007. He very much liked the script that I'd sent to him, and we met up to discuss it. He was very keen on playing a different role than the one that I wanted him to play, and I was obviously, absolutely sure that the role he needed to play was the one that I'd suggested. And we talked about it, and we realized that we weren't going to make each other change each other's minds. So we started talking about other things, and Sam said that he was a fan of science fiction films, and if I had anything that was science fiction, to let him know, because he loved the script I'd shown him and he'd be interested to see it. So as soon as I left that meeting, I immediately started writing a science fiction film for Sam Rockwell.
Okay.
So if I say draw, you just need to get the drawer open as soon as you can get there.
Because Sam had to perform two different roles against himself, we had to be very disciplined, basically, about how we would shoot those particular scenes.
Yeah, it's a real mind fuck. It's it's really like it really can turn your brain into scrambled eggs, because you're trying to figure out what you're going to do, and if you want to ad lib, you got to know how you're going to ad lib ahead of time. If you're going to improvise, you have to know what your comeback is going to be.
As long as we all agreed on what the take was going to be for the first performance of any given scene with two Sams. Once we'd nailed Sam number one, then we knew that we would have to keep disciplined for Sam number two, but Sam would be able to play around with it because he'd be able to rehearse to the take that we'd selected. So he was able to throw in lines and improv with himself, knowing what was going to come back to him.
You literally have to memorize certain movements. If one tries to go like, if I tried to kiss myself or something, the other one didn't want to be kissed, he'd go like that. You'd have to plan that out. You'd have to know exactly when that guy retracts. And you can't know visually, because you're listening to it on an earwig, so you have to cue it by something vocal, like a cough or something. So it's really crazy difficult, but fascinating. If you can pull off the timing, it's just an amazing feeling if you can pull off the timing. I mean, often I'll be at the monitor and I'll go, "That's perfect," But I'm not talking about the acting. I'm talking about the timing. The timing is so. If you can get that timing, it's a great feeling.
It was absolutely terrifying because the film utterly depends on that effect working.
Visual effect on Gertie.
Oh my God! Is this
some rough comps? And the first time we actually saw that it had worked, and I was able to show Sam while we were shooting and say, "Look, it's all going to be okay. It looks great." The whole feeling of the set changed.
Very rough.
That's awesome. It doesn't look rough to me. It looks pretty good.
That was a huge moment for us. Everyone felt so much more relieved.
Is that me too?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
It it was only because Sam is so incredibly talented that we were able to pull it off.
Sam 1 has the knowledge that they'll get sick. Yeah. That's something that Sam 2 doesn't. Sam 2 doesn't.
That's true, that'll work really nicely.
Yeah? Okay, all right.
He had a very clear idea of what the arcs were for the two different Sams that he's performing and kept copious notes and stuck to those. Yeah, one's kind of character-y and one's kind of more leading man, you know. I don't know. I don't even know what a leading man is anymore, you know. My version of a leading man is a little different than other people's, I think. Stuart Finnegan, my producer, and I always knew that the best way to achieve what we wanted to achieve was to have as much of a control over the shooting environment as we could. One of the things we decided we would shoot as much of the film in studio as possible. It ended up being all of the film. To help Sam and also to have as much flexibility as we could, we wanted to create an entirely 360-degree environment. So we actually built the moon base in its entirety. And the crew would basically go in the morning at the beginning of the shooting day, we'd close the airlock, and then that's it. We'd be in the base for the rest of the shooting day.
We're very lucky we had a pre-lit set, fully built, so it wasn't difficult to get the kind of hysteria and emotions of being trapped on a small solitary moon base, because we had a massive crew trapped in a solitary moon base at Shepperton for 2 months.
I think having the base all around us had definite benefits and drawbacks. The benefits were that we could very easily sort of come up on the fly with camera positions and use parts of the set for a scene when maybe we were going to be somewhere else originally. So that was fantastic. But then on the drawbacks are that when you have a sort of a four-wall set like that, you want to put the camera further back. You're kind of limited because you've got part of set behind you. You want to put the camera up, you're limited because you have a ceiling on top of you. There are certain things you can do, sort of creating holes in the set to shoot through, but it really does almost become like a location shoot in some ways, in that you are restricted by the environment that you're in.
I think we all had a great time and had built up quite an affinity for the set in the first 4 weeks, and then started to hate it more and more and more as the shoot went on. And I think I was one of the few at the end sitting there shedding a tear when the set was being ripped down by the construction team.
Moon has a unique look, in part because of the models that we used, which is very much a technique that was sort of pioneered and used a lot back in the 70s. Practically, it was more cost effective than going a pure CG route, but I actually prefer the look, and I've always preferred the look. I've used that in commercials quite a lot. And there's something about blending a real practical live action element and then building on top of that I think gives you a much more interesting and deep looking image than you get if you just completely create something from on a computer screen.
This is Sam being angry. Yeah. He's really pissed
Angry
off.
Sam.
And he's thumping the dashboard. She had it down as Sam 1, terrified. I just want to point out, I can actually animate. You're not seeing it in this.
My concept artist, Gavin Rothery, and I have been working together for absolutely years now. And we've got a bit of a sort of a shorthand when we're working together, sort of knowing what it is that we want and knowing the same references and having the same experiences growing up. We're roughly the same age. We saw pretty much the same films when we were growing up, and we both loved the same stuff. I think between the two of us, we had a very practical sense of what the base needed to be. And there was something that Sid Mead used to do, who designed Blade Runner, which always seemed perfectly, logical to me, which is that everything that was in the film, even if you don't ever see it in any particular detail, the designer needs to know how it works in that world. And we've tried to do the same. We tried to make sure that all the vehicles and all the equipment do actually serve their purpose within the world of the film. There's a ridiculous amount of effects in this film for an indie film of any sort. Maybe it's almost a contradiction in terms indie sci-fi. There's, I believe, over 400 effects shots.
That's a large amount of effects, even by a Hollywood film standards. I think that's one of the things that that Duncan and I and the rest of the team never wanted to compromise on. We wanted to make the story, and we made sure that the story was quite small and contained, but we wanted to make sure that the effects work and the moon exteriors actually, you know, lived up to the expectations of a modern audience.
What is it about Sam that scares you?
Kevin Spacey came on board towards the end of the film. He'd read the script and very much liked it, but was obviously concerned that for an indie sci-fi film, how were we going to possibly pull it off? So he wanted to wait and see, totally understandable. We got a rough edit that we were happy with and sent it to him, and he was frankly so blown away by what Sam Rockwell had done and how amazing his performance was, that he said that he wanted to be involved. So it was great for us.
You have changed, Sam.
Hey, Gertie, since I've been up here, I've sent Tess, I've sent her over 100 video messages. Where did those messages go? Did they ever reach her?
Sam, I can only account for what occurs on the base.
In the meantime, rest up and hang in there.
You hang in there, Sam. Over now.
You fucking clone.
You idiot.
Matt Berry and Benedict Wong are in the film. They are actually two of my real life friends, and I've big fans of their work for as long as I've known them, and they're lovely guys, and I just had to get them in there somehow. But it actually worked out really well, and I think the two of them work as a great team.
Over now.
Cut.
Got there?
That's great. That's really good.
Do you want me to show you how to hold that?
No, I don't need you to show me how to hold it. Okay.
As it was written for Sam Rockwell, I really wanted to create something which would appeal to him and also appeal to myself. And for me, what I found most interesting was the question of, you know, what would it be like if you actually met yourself?
Fuck! God! Shit!
19-2.
And that was a question which had so many possible answers and so many stories could come out of that, that I think it was sort of rich pickings, and it became very exciting to navigate a path through that question.
If you see yourself on film, or you see yourself in the mirror, you see a picture of yourself, and people have those experiences where they see a picture of themselves and they go, is that really, do I do that? You know, and I think that, that's really, this is really what the movie's about in a way. It's about like, am I really like that? Do I really, because you have an image of yourself in your head of what you're like. It could be Cary Grant, you know, it's not, and then you realize, no, I'm not Cary Grant, I'm this guy. I thought I was George Clooney. No, you're not. You're this guy. And so I think that is an interesting question. And I hope that we addressed it fully.
Open.
This is a really experiment in narcissism. Yeah, it's been interesting. I think I've had enough of myself, for sure.
You've been sharing your scenes with Sam Rockwell.
Yes.
And how has that experience been? Would you
Well, you know,
recommend it to anyone?
he's very talented, that kid, and I taught him a lot. You know, it's a very strange experiment, and you know, God bless people who pay tickets to go see this, because you know, I'm sick of myself right now. But you know, hopefully we made it interesting for them.
Sam 1 walks this way, he's going towards the sleeping quarters, and we basically track back and end up in a...
There's a degree of first-time passion
their
that
conversation
is
here.
unique to just being a first-timer. That is just like, the director's willing to like jump off a bridge to get the movie made, you know. So that can be inspiring. And that's certainly true with Duncan.
I had a little accident on the shoot because I was somewhere where I shouldn't have been. Climbed up some scaffolding and had a little bit of a fall and got a little cut above my eye. I was saving Sam Rockwell from a pack of wild dogs. Took 6 of them out. Wasn't able to get the 7th one. But tried to bite me, swerved around, bumped my head into a wall.
Come on out, kid.
It's been good. I mean, it's been hard and it's been challenging, and it's been kind of an amazing process. I've never done anything like this, so it's been really fulfilling as an actor.
The production of Moon was an absolutely amazing experience, and for Duncan's first film to premiere at Sundance is truly amazing, and I'm really proud for him and for everyone that worked on the film.
Duncan, I feel like we've really put in some, and this amazing crew has put in some really hard work, and we're hoping that we put some kind of fairy dust sprinkled on it somehow, you know.
There was an awful lot of sacrifice made to get this film made the way we wanted to make it. This is definitely a type of film that can be made on an indie budget, but I think you really need the right people with the amount of drive that's necessary to actually do something like this. And I was very fortunate that I had that in the team I was working with.
Action.